titled Rosalio Gutierrez Jr.
And you had indicated that was a name you were looking for given the context of this case?
Yes.
And did you then go into the Rosalio Gutierrez Jr. folder to do further investigation into that?
Yes, I did.
And what, if anything, did you locate inside the Rosalio Gutierrez Jr. folder on this laptop?
There were several pictures and screenshots, could be from Facebook and other websites.
I'm going to approach you first with what's been marked as State's Exhibit 6. Can you tell me in general what this appears to be in regards to the MSI laptop download?
So this would be a section of the report that I would generate. These are the items that I tagged as potential evidence, the title of them, what they are, when they were created on the computer, and where they reside.
And for these specific items, are these all JPEGs?
Yes, they are.
And so would that have been some of the pictures located in that Rosalio Gutierrez folder?
Yes.
Now I'm going to zoom in here. Do you see on the top there that there's essentially 3 categories: created, accessed, and modified?
Yes.
And so in looking at these different JPEG files, they all have slightly different times of creation. Is that accurate?
Yes, it is.
All roughly April 25th of 2020, somewhere in the 3:30 a.m. range. Does that sound right?
Yes.
No, because it was showing phone calls coming in and out. There was multiple phone calls pinging off the towers at the time.
Now, given the fact that these all have different times of creation, what can you say regarding the manner in which these photographs were placed onto this computer?
So each one was individually saved and placed at the time indicated, placed in this folder at the time indicated on the computer.
So each of these different, and I believe there are 24 items between the 2 pages, would have had to be individually placed?
Due to the time differences, yes.
Okay, so if they had all been select all, paste all, would we expect to see them the same time for each of those in the creation window?
Yeah, within a few seconds of each other.
So I'm now going to hand you directly State's Exhibits 7 through 30. Can you page through that set of documents and tell me if you recognize that it's something you found on that laptop?
They do appear to be the images that were inside the Rosalio Gutierrez Jr. folder.
Now, in addition to those photographs in this Rosalio Gutierrez Jr. folder, did you also find some things that were clearly from Facebook?
Yes, I did.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 34 and 36. Can you tell me what those are?
I'm leaning towards guilty. Don't know about help, maybe, perhaps, but only purely because of logistical reasons, his ability to get him from the apartment into the car.
There are screenshots from Rosalio Gutierrez Jr. Facebook page.
Does that include, when you say screenshot, what does that mean in your world?
Somebody either uses a tool to take a picture of something that's on the screen, like a snippet tool.
And those were located in that same Rosalio Gutierrez Jr. file?
Yes, they were.
I would ask for permission to publish these to the jurors because of the minor, there are definitely some pictures with minors in them. I don't want to put them up on the screen, but can I pass them around to the jurors?
Is there objection?
No.
Go ahead.
This is just exhibits 7 through 30.
7 through 30, and then the Facebook ones you just testified to.
4 through 6.
4, 35.
34 and 36.
Now, this witness downloaded the stuff on Zach's laptop because he had a file on the victim. He had screenshots and all sorts of stuff. And he claims that he was trying to find out who she was seeing because he wanted to know what he was like around his children, just made it out like he was looking, just checking up to see what kind of character he was. But apparently there was a bit of a dossier there. I have not heard of the extent of information they found on the laptop, which is what this witness is supposed to elicit, but we're waiting.
Those photographs that I've just shown you and now the jury, were there any other things found in that Rosalio Gutierrez Jr. folder that you believe were of note?
Found a screenshot of a page from the Department of Wisconsin Financial Institutions, I believe, and included Rosalio's name and address.
Approaching you with what's been marked as States Exhibit 32 and 33. Can you tell me what these appear to be?
So he looked up where he lived.
Those would be those screenshots from the Wisconsin Department of Financial Institutions. Contains corporate records for North Star Renovations LLC, with the registered agent being Rosalio Gutierrez Jr. Includes his address.
And when you say screenshots, what does that mean in your world?
Again, somebody either used the screenshot function through Windows or used a snippet program to capture something that was on the screen.
What is a screenshot function on Windows?
You can press function screenshot and then it'll basically save what's on the screen and then you can paste it to a Word document.
Function screenshot. I don't know.
So the jury, so
What?
States Exhibit 33, is that one of those screenshots you just identified?
Yes.
And you indicated that registered agent office was Rosalio Gutierrez Jr. with 3709 15th Street 1B, Kenosha, Wisconsin 53144 as the address.
Yes.
Yeah, I must have an old keyboard.
And is this just another angle of that zoomed in closer?
Yes, it is.
And were those two separate screenshots that were located in this file folder?
Yes, they were.
Now, as part of this investigation, were you made aware that that was Mr. Gutierrez Jr.'s actual address at the time of May 17th of 2020?
I knew there was a location of that building. I didn't know the exact address of the apartment, but
And do these appear to be true and accurate copies of what you recovered from that Rosalio Gutierrez file when you downloaded and reviewed the computer download?
yes, they are.
In addition to those documents in that file, was there anything else of note that you located in that file regarding the investigation into this case?
Located several other screenshots that appeared to be from a Find My Device phone that Androids have.
And explain for the jury what Find My Device for Android phones is in your world.
So if you own an Android phone like a Samsung or Motorola, when you log into your Google account that's attached to your phone, let's say you lose your phone, you can go to a computer, log into Google, go to the Find My Device page, and any phone that's logged into the same account will show up where it's located at. So once you track where your phone is, or if you lose it, locate it.
And did you find any evidence on the MSI laptop that Find My Phone or the Google My Account Find Your Phone webpage had been visited by this computer?
Yes, it was actually bookmarked as or saved as a bookmark on the computer.
And do you recall when that occurred?
The end of April 2020.
So he was tracking.
Now, you indicated that
The
there were a
victim's
couple of
phone.
different, these more screenshots like we've been talking about.
Yes.
I'm going to approach with what's been marked as States Exhibit 3, 4, and 5. Can you tell me what these appear to be to you?
So these are the screenshots from the Find My Device webpage.
And is that consistent with what the webpage looks like in your training and experience doing forensic downloads?
Yes.
Now, these screenshots, did they have specific names that corresponded to a date and time for each individual image?
So we had used the snippet program to create those, and that program generally just names of the date and time that it was taken.
Okay, we talked about screenshotting. What is the snippet program?
It's another program built into Windows that allows you to capture part of a screen.
And in your training experience, when you capture something using the snippet program, it gives you the date and time that you captured it.
Yeah, it titles it with the date and time.
So this first one was titled 5_8_2020_2054. So in your world, what does that mean regarding when this first screenshot was snippet or program?
Right,
That was
2020.
something that was taken on May 8th, 2020 at 8:54 p.m.
In general, what is this location that was on this first snippet from Find My Device on May 8th at roughly 8:54 p.m.?
That was determined it was somewhere in Oak Creek, just off the interstate.
And then States Exhibit number 4, This one was titled 5_8_2020 and _2116. So in your snippet program mastery, what time, date, time of this have been captured on this MSI laptop?
It'd been the same date at 9:16, I believe you said, PM.
And in terms of this case, what is this a general picture of, if you know?
Looks like it's locating a device that's on the north side of Kenosha.
And when you say locating a device, is that because there's some sort of specific pin that you're focusing in on this picture?
Yeah, so the Find My Device icon on the phone looks pretty much identical to that icon you see towards the top there in green.
Would you point that out just so the jury knows exactly what we're looking at? So then showing you State's Exhibit 5, which was titled on this computer 5_8_2020_2117. In your experience, would that mean it's 9:17 p.m. on that same day we just talked about?
Correct.
And what is this, if you know, in terms of location in Kenosha, zoomed in on?
It's about the 3700 block of 15th apartment building there. So it's
And-
the 15th here. These are the apartment buildings in the parking lot.
And Mr. Gutierrez's apartment was 3709 15th Street?
Correct.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 31. Can you tell me what this is in relation to your review of the MSI laptop?
There's a picture of a GPS tracking device I found downloaded.
And where did you find this downloaded on that laptop, if you can recall?
It would have been in that kid's or Rosalio Gutierrez folder.
And why was this something you flagged as important in this investigation?
After noticing the tracking of the phone and the GPS tracker, it seemed relevant.
So I'm just showing State's Exhibit 31. Obviously, did you know anything about this tracker or any sort of tracking program regarding this?
No.
You just found this picture in that file?
Yes.
In addition to the things we've talked about, did you find any recordings of any kind that you thought were relevant to your investigation?
There were several video and audio recordings in that folder.
When you say several, how many would you estimate that you noticed in that file folder?
About 3 dozen.
And in terms of the contents of them, did you listen to all of them in full?
No.
And why is that?
Determined there's about 10 or more hours worth of recordings.
Bloody hell.
Now, did you listen to selective pieces of them to try to figure out what they were recordings of?
Yes.
And in general, in your review of these approximately 3 dozen recordings, what were you able to ascertain was, in general, the contents on them?
Generally, it sounded like a man and woman arguing, mainly over children.
And in your review, were there any that appeared to be actually recorded by children?
Object speculation.
Sustained.